So this week, finished all the see which week we are going to do which class. Yeah, today's class 3 from Sharji. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do warm-ups. I'm going to be facing this. So we're going to start with rotating, doing some circles with our heels. 5 circles clockwise and 5 counterclockwise. I have a thing. I'm thinking, do you want to be there or something so I can see? Then we're going to bend our knees slightly and then do circles with our knees gently, 5 each way. Then lift your leg, bend at 90 if you can balance, and do small to wide circles, as wide as you can, maintaining the balance. Same thing, other leg. Now full leg rotation. You can do smaller circles or you can do wider based on your balance. And same thing, 5 each way. Left leg. Clockwise, 5 counterclockwise. Now supporting your lower back, we're going to make loops with our hips. 3, 4, 5, and then opposite direction. Okay. Now hands before our chest, fingers pointing towards each other, trunk twist. Slowly and gently to a count of 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now we're moving on to our hands. Make a fist, making wrist rotations. 5 each way. And I'm making cup hands. Place the cups on your shoulder joints. Have your elbows pointing to the side and make circles with your elbows. Observe what you feel in your shoulder joints when you're making these circles. You may hear some noises, you may hear some muscle movements. Now we're going to make full hand rotations. All right, head and neck. Left to right to a count of 10. Look over your shoulders, over your left and over your right. We'll give that deep stretch to our both sides of the neck. 8, 9, and 10. Now up and down to count of 10. Okay, so let's do some spine bends. Feet are hip width apart. And inhale, hands up. Yeah, you can clasp your hands or you can grab one of your hands with this. And exhale, bend to the right. Feel the stretch on the left side of your upper body. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in and out. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, bending from your hip joint. You're going to fold forward. Wherever your hands are going, let your head hang low. No need to lift up your head. And let's do 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, supporting your lower back, either by making a fist or with palms facing down. Exhale, bend backwards, and 2 breaths. Inhale, come back to the center. Okay. So now let's do one round of simple Surya Namaskar, and then we'll go ahead and start with our poses for today. Okay. So come to the short edge of the mat. Feet are a couple inches away. And stand tall. Inhale, hands up, slight back bend. And exhale, fold forward from your hips, trying to keep the back straight. And inhale, right leg back, like a runner's lunge. And look up. Exhale, downward facing dog, left leg back, inverted V. Inhale, come to a plank position. Exhale, first knees, and then chest, and then chin touching the ground. Your bottom's pointing upwards, so your bottom's not touching the ground. And inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, get your right leg forward, same lunge. And exhale, left leg forward, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, hands to the side. I want to show you Ashtanga. So from plank, when we come to Ashtanga, I'm touching my knees and I'm straight coming to my chest. So my bottom is still a little bit popped out. So my chest and my chin, like that. Yeah, first knees, first chest, yeah. First, knees and then chest, chest and chin, yeah, like that. You see your bottom is just a teeny bit popped and chin should touch the thing. So you're kind of looking forward, like this. Chin is touching the mat, yes, that's Ashtanga. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's do our next half of the round. Short edge of the mat. Inhale, hands up, slide back, bend. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, left leg back, right bent at 90, and lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Ashtanga. Knees, chest, and chin. Yes, that's right. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg forward, lunge. Exhale, right leg forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands before the heart center. Watch your breath. If it's going faster than your normal pace, observe. Keep breathing, but observe it's coming down to your normal breathing pattern. Let's shoot for watching our breath the entire session. It's like our breath is guiding us for all the poses. Helps us keep our attention here, that moment, and inwards. All right. When your breathing is normal, almost normal, come to mountain pose. Stand tall, hands to the side, tall spine, tuck your chin back, drop your shoulders, and knees and kneecaps and thighs, slightly lift them up so they're not carrying the weight. You're like lifting them up. And look forward. And let's do 3 deep or ocean breaths. Ocean breaths is you're breathing from your throat. And when you breathe out, it's like an ocean wave, that deep sigh. Everything, you can feel it more intense at the throat. That's why it's called ocean breath. Either breath is fine. And remember, when you're inhaling, your belly is going in. When you're exhaling, your belly is going out. It's the opposite. Breathe in, belly out. All right, let's do 3 breaths. Deep inhale. And all the air out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Squeeze your belly in. One more inhale. And exhale. See if you can do this kind of breathing during at least as many poses as you can. Some poses it may make it hard, but you can go ahead and try. All right, so now we're going to go to Chargie's class number 3. He has a few balancing poses. We're going to start with Natarajasana. So starting with the right leg. Press your right big toe firmly towards the ground. So kind of feeling that you have nails and they're popped into the mat to get that visualization for some balance. And inhale, bend your left knee. And if you need support, you can go to a wall or a chair and hold on to it with your right hand. And exhale, bend forward a little bit, stretch your right hand towards the right. And your left leg is stretched out. Still, you're holding on to your ankle. Your left hand is holding to your left foot right around the ankle. And 5 breaths here if you can. And give something, pick something looking down, pick something and gaze at it. That can help with balance a little bit. 2 more breaths. And next inhale. squeeze your leg, and exhale, drop it on the floor. Same thing with the other leg now. Press your left big toe down. Inhale. Grab your right leg by the right ankle. And exhale. Lay slight forward fold, very slight. And stretch your left hand out and right leg out. And 5 breaths. Yes. 2 more. On the next inhale, gently squeeze your leg and drop it on the floor. Okay, so our next, let me take my lock off. 1 second. This way. Okay, so our next balancing is Padangusthasana. So we're going to start with our right again. So press right foot towards the mat or the ground. And you're going to try and grab on an inhale, make a ring, and see if you can put the ring on your big toe. And you can support your right side either towards a wall or a chair, or if you don't need it, on your waist. And exhale, see if you can stretch your leg towards the side. You can either do a full stretch or you can bend. However farther you can go. Wherever you can go, and see if you can be there for 5 breaths. If you need support, you want to go towards the wall, hold on to the wall and then see how much you can. Yeah. That better? Yeah. Keep that, do that for 5 breaths. Yeah. Think how you can hold on to this. I'm going to do on the other side. Done. And then slowly see if you can spread as much as you can. And make sure maybe you should come a little more closer and see if this side is still straight. You want to maintain Tadasana. You want like this and this, yeah. So it's okay. Yeah.
I've never done this.
Okay. If you keep doing it, it will slowly stretch, yes. Okay. So if you're done with your 5 breaths, then inhale, get your foot closer to the center. Exhale, drop it on the ground. Same thing, other side. Press your left foot firmly towards the ground. Inhale, make a ring with your fingers and place it on your right big toe. And exhale, stretch your right leg out. It could be a straight stretch, it could be a bend. That's either way is fine. And 5 breaths. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Then inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, come back to the center. All right. So now we're going to do Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Another balancing. We have a bunch of balancings today. Okay. So half moon, easy. We have a transition steps to get to the half moon. So right foot forward and left foot behind. And I'm kind of aligned towards the right. Inhale and exhale. Have a cup hands and place it on the mat. And then straighten your right leg perpendicular and see if you can lift your left leg off the floor. And you can stay there for 5 breaths, or if you are up for it, you can let your left hand go up towards the ceiling. So you're only having support with your right. Want to go even further, you can just have your right fingertips touching. So pretty much your entire weight is on your right foot. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Put both your feet, I'm going to watch here. Put both your feet back on the ground once you're done. And now slowly turn to the center and switch the legs. So the same thing, yeah. With the support, inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to lift your, I was watching you, you can do it. With exhale, you can try and lift your hands, right leg off the floor. See if you can do it parallel. So right leg be parallel to the mat or the floor. You want to lift it up. Or you think you can use this as a support? See if you can lift up. Yeah. You can get used to this posture and then you can try with supporting this. Yeah. And our goal is this be parallel to the floor, which is good. Yeah. This is our like this whole thing is Tadasana is what we're trying. Okay. It's almost there, so we're good. All right. So let's do one more breath. Inhale, exhale. And then on the next inhale, get your left foot back on the floor and exhale, stand back up and come to the center of your mat. Okay. We have one more balancing today, eagle pose, Garudasana. So eagle, we have two, you have to do with leg and hand, but we can do it one after the other, or you can just stick with one. So we're starting with our legs. I'll show the legs first. Slight bend on our knees. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to try and wrap your left foot around your right. I'll show you a variation too. So the full original pose is this for the legs, but you can always do this if that's harder for balancing. So the one way is to just do this without any support. Other one is you go around and wrap and have a support, your choice. So that's for the legs. We can stay with the legs for a few breaths, or you can also do it with the hands. So we're going to do the right finger is pointing, and then the left is doing the same thing, trying to come and have your yes. So both, this is the full eagle pose. So you have multiple options here. You have a couple options for the legs, and you can do legs first and then hands after, or you can do them all together. Let's do a few breaths here. Again, give something before you, helping with some balance. If this is too easy peasy for you, close your eyes and try this. I will fall down if I close my eyes, but you can try. All right, once done, inhale, and on an exhale, untangle yourself. Now we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So the left slight bend on your knees. Inhale and exhale. Wrap your right around your left, or the option is just come halfway and rest it on the right next to your left foot. Yeah. And then you can do it with the same thing. Left is out and right is wrapping around the left hand, and your palms are trying to touch each other. You notice they're not going to be aligned. One is going to be on the top, one is going to be the little slightly below the other. Wherever you are, let's try and do 4 more breaths. Remember deep breathing if you can. And when you breathe in, your belly should be coming out. Last inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Untangle yourself. Good job. Wiggle your legs. We're done with our balancing for today. Yes. And our last standing pose is Paschima Namaskar. So Namaste, normally we know palms together right before our chest, right? So we're going to try and do the same thing behind. So watch where it generally comes, and then see if you can do the same thing on your spine. Yes. Inhale and exhale. Wrap your hands behind you. I'm going to turn back and show you as much as your palms can touch each other is fine. If only the fingertips are touching or half your palms are touching, wherever you are, but stand tall. Watch your chest is opening up a little bit with this namaskar. And 5 breaths. Two more. All right, now inhale. Exhale, let go of your hands. All right, we're done with our standing. Let's do we'll treat ourselves with a few cool down, like a few stretches. So have your feet about 80% wide as you can go. This is your 100%, be at 80 or 90%. And inhale, hands up. And exhale, bend from your hips. See if your palms can touch the ground. Let your head hang low and relax. Your body is definitely thanking you for what you're trying to do to it, taking care. So we're grateful for our body, and our body is grateful for us. That harmonious relationship. And inhale. And exhale, see if you can turn towards your right leg. You try and keep your knees straight, so that way you can feel the stretch behind your legs. A tiny stretch, and let your head come closer to your right knee. Feel the stretch on the back of your right leg. Continue to consciously breathe. Now inhale, come back to the center. And exhale, see if you can do it on the other side. You can tilt your left foot slightly towards the left. That will make it more comfortable, and get your head closer to the knee. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, come back up. And heel to toe, get your feet together. All right. So now we're moving on to our transition pose, Godhanasana, before we move on to the sitting. So we can actually start with tabletop. Come to tabletop. The tabletop, check your alignment, your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder joint is in one line. That's for both the hands. And spread your fingers wider. We're going to try and evenly. Whenever any pose where you have to place your palms on the mat, it's always recommended to spread them out. So basically, you're not trying to put the entire pressure on your wrist. And if you have to do any lifting up poses where weights being bared by the palms, you can also curl them slightly. So and press them down. So now your wrist is supported by all your five fingers to manage the weight. But here we're not lifting up any weights, so just spread them apart and let them all rest on the mat. And for legs, make sure your knee joint and your hip joint is in one line. So if you are this way or if you're this way, watch it. You want to be in one line. That's tabletop. Okay. So from here for Godhanasana, inhale, get your right foot in between your um, your hands. Yes. And get your hands, take your hands off the mat and see if you can sit. Okay, if you need something softer, see if you can use your jacket or something and place it on the knees. You can, you're good? Okay, okay. So we're going to have our right foot forward and left foot standing. It's the same thing as your tabletop. And on an exhale, like watch your balance here. You have multiple options. You can have your foot like hip width apart, means you're kind of standing on a train tracks, right? My right and left are not on the same line. But if you want to challenge it, you can have come yourself to one straight line and see if you can still have the balance. You play around and find your spot where you can stand this way and still not wiggle. Once you find your spot, on an exhale, have your palms up and bend backwards. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, your hands back on the mat and switch your legs. So left comes forward, the right foot goes back. And same thing here. Play around with where you can get the balance. You can stand as if you're on a train track. Your feet are hip width apart, or your both your heel, like your left heel and your right knee, can come to a straight line as if you're standing on a tight rope. Or you can be in between. Like I said, everybody's different. So play around, get off the mat, find your spot. When you found your spot, inhale, hands up, and exhale, backward bend, and do 5 breaths. Now inhale, exhale, hands back, and inhale, go back to tabletop, and exhale, let's do a relaxing pose, like come to child's pose, Vajrasana, rest your bottom on your heels. Yeah, you can do that, or you can do like I'm sitting in Vajrasana and resting my bottom, and my forehead is touching the ground. Relax for a few moments. Inhale, lift yourself up and come to a seated position. So the first sitting pose is Akarna Dhanurasana. Okay, like as if you're stringing a bow. So for that, you want to sit in a staff pose. Start with the staff. Staff with both your feet are before you, legs are extended, and you're sitting tall. And now we're going to have, let me see. Inhale, give a nice squeeze to your right leg. And exhale. Let's drop it on the floor first and align yourself slightly towards your left leg, just a slight align. Okay. And now we're going to go to the pose. So make a ring, and you can, or you want to hold it this way, whatever your choice. You can make a ring and place it on the right big toe, grab it, or you can hold on to your feet, whichever is more comfortable. And what we're trying to do is this feet is going to come as close to our right ear, right foot closer to the right ear, and you're going to try, and it's basically a stringing. So, okay, you're going to try and grab wherever you can, either the big toe, making a ring, or you can place it on your one or either way in your shin area, somewhere. Rest the hand. So that's the inhale, and on an exhale, see if you can get there. One more inhale. And exhale, drop your leg back on the mat and come back to staff pose. So now you're straightly aligned, and we'll do it on the other side. So next inhale, squeeze your left leg, and exhale, drop it on the floor. If the Akarna Dhanurasana is challenging, you can always do this and relax. This is a good stretch as well. So make a ring, placing it on my left big toe. Inhale and exhale, getting my left foot closer to my left ear, and my right is trying to touch my right toe. Go as close as you can to your left foot. And 5 breaths. Last inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop the leg back and come back to staff. Wiggle your legs, relax them, loosen them up a little bit. And now let's do our lotus pose, Padmasana. You can do full lotus or half Padmasana or just sit in Sukhasana, whichever one you like. So for Padmasana, you all may know it. This is full Padmasana. Both your feet are here. Half Padmasana is one leg at a time. So one leg is on the floor, other leg is on your thigh. So right leg on the right thigh, right foot, on the right thigh, and left foot on the left thigh is full. Do one leg at a time is half. You wanted to just do Sukhasana is fine. Whichever pose you are in, sit tall and do 5 breaths. You can do it in a mudra, or you can rest it. Rest your hands on your lap, or you can do a mudra with your thumb and index. Multiple mudras. Pick a mudra you like. 2 more breaths. All right. So while in Padmasana or whichever pose, if you're doing half, switch the legs and do at least 3 breaths each leg. And next one is Parvatasana. It's the same thing, whichever sitting position you are in for Padmasana. Inhale, hands up. Have your palms touching each other and stay there for 5 breaths. Again, if you're doing half, do 3 breaths, switch your leg, and then do another 3 breaths. Two more. Once we're done, inhale. Exhale, come back to Sukhasana. Okay, so now we're going to do 5 breaths in Vajrasana. Vajrasana is you're going to sit on your feet. So your feet is going to be, the big toes are touching each other. So yeah, and you're making a V shape. So you see here, they're like V. And your bottom is kind of sitting, it's like a seat. You're making a seat with your feet. Let me see. You are? Okay. All right. So making a shape of that V and using it to sit on your feet and sit tall, how much ever you can go. You can always put a pillow here and sit. That can be comfortable. Sometimes you can put a pillow here under your knees. Not thick pillows, but really thin pillows or a towel. That also makes it feel better. 5 breaths. Remember to keep your spine tall and straight. Visualize this as if you have a thread on your top of your head and it's being pulled up. Visualize that and sit tall. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. So now let's go to our lying down. So come to a lying down pose. If you need to see, watch the demo, and then you can lie down. Okay. So this is for our bellies. It's leg rotation while lying down. So there are variations. You can have your legs, inhale, lift your legs up, making 90 degrees with your hip joint and your upper body, and your feet are pointing towards the parallel to the ceiling or the sky. You're outside. And you can make circles, small circles or wide circles right here. This is the least challenging. If you want to put more pressure on your belly, which is more challenging, you get your feet to like a 30 or 45 degree from the floor and then try and make circles. You can notice the big difference of the pressure you feel in your tummy. And the wider circles you make, the more impact. But watch your body, do what is comfortable for you. You can push yourself a little bit, but don't push yourself too hard where your body is getting hurt. Do 5 circles clockwise and 5 counterclockwise. You would rather just be in the center and relax with your legs pointing up. That's fine too. Don't hold your breath here. You may hold your breath if you're trying to intensely doing the circles. You may not be able to do deep breaths, but don't hold your breath. All right, when you're done with all your circles, rest your feet on the ground and relax while I see what our next pose is. Okay, the next pose is a bridge pose. Okay. So bridge, you have two variations of bridge. So get your feet maybe 3 to 4 inches apart, away from your sitting bones. And have your feet next to each other. Don't have to touch, but right next to each other. Your palms are facing down. And inhale. As you exhale, lift your bottom off the floor. This is one variation. This is the less challenging one, but it's still very good. So you can stay here for 5 breaths. If you want to do the more intense one, you're going to have your feet hip width apart and grab your feet, both your feet with your hands at the ankles. And inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to not just lift the bottom, even the upper part of the body, almost until your shoulders are off the ground. This is the more intense one. And make sure your knees are not pointing out. Your knees are still in alignment, and it's in one line with your rest of the body. It's not coming out. So whichever one you picked, let's do 3 to 5 breaths. Once you're done, inhale and exhale. Slowly get your body back on the mat. And relax. Okay. So now come to staff pose again. We're going to do plank and reverse plank. Let's do reverse plank first. Plank and the lunge, the Ashwa Sanchalasana. We did that during sun salutation, but we're going to stay there for a few breaths here. So reverse plank. Reverse plank, both your fingers, your palms are facing towards your feet, right? They're not this way. Your palms are facing this way. Yeah. And inhale. Your legs are stretched out before you. Inhale. And exhale. Lift your bottom off. And see if you can get your palm, like your feet touching the ground is fine. If not, wherever you are. And 5 breaths. See if you feel the stretch. If you're trying to get your feet closer to the ground, feel the stretch on the lower part of your leg. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in and out. Now inhale. Exhale slowly and gently. Get your bottom back on the mat. Okay. Wiggle your hands if you need to. And let's do our plank pose. I think you're all familiar with plank. So on an inhale, come to plank. And again, here we're going to have our weight be carried by, a lot of weight is going to be carried by our hands. So here is where you would curl your fingers just a tiny bit and push them towards the mat, push it down so that you can notice the difference. If you can, is your weight is now not entirely carried by your wrist. This is just to protect our wrist because we have 100+ pounds that are trying to be managed by our wrist. So we're just trying to even out the weight, get some of the weight carried by our fingers. 3 more breaths. So for plank, you're standing on your toes. Inhale, last one. Exhale. Then inhale. And as you exhale, let your knees touch the ground first. And let's come to tabletop, and then we will do our lunge. Okay, so now our Ashwa Sanchalanasana. Read it right. Ashwa Sanchalasana. Ashwa Sanchalasana. It's like a lunge pose. Okay. So inhale, come to lunge. Your right foot forward, your left foot back. You can rest your knees on the mat, or you can come off, your choice. And look forward, look up a little bit and look forward. And 5 breaths. Two more. Last one. Once done, inhale. Exhale, come back to tabletop and switch your legs, left foot forward. And on the inhale, go to lunge with your left foot forward. Four more breaths. Three more. Two. One. Inhale. And exhale. Get both your knees to tabletop. And then cross your legs and come to a seated pose. Your favorite seated pose. We're going to do our breathing. If your breath is, you're panting or your breath is going faster, give it a few moments so you're not breathing too fast for our pranayam, breathing exercises. I can see all the bubbles, but I'm hoping you're all doing great. You're still with me, so that's a good thing. We're going to do Kapalbhati. So for Kapalbhati, sit tall, and mudra is recommended when you're doing the breathing, and then when you relax, you can relax your hands on the lap. How fast? Up to you. How many times is also up to you. You don't have to follow my cue. You're already familiar. You all have your own cue. Go with it. Lightheaded or dizziness, stop or slow it down. Okay. So let's do a deep inhale first. Exhale. Starting round 1. Try and do at least 10, but we're going to try and do up to 30 for those of you who can. Forced, rhythmic, sharp exhalation. So whichever rhythm you pick, stick with it for that round. And make sure you're not squirming your face. Your face is still calm. You're trying to have the lungs do the work. So you don't do this when you're breathing. Okay. Start round 1. You're done. Relax, hands on your lap, and watch your brain. See if you feel that sense of nothingness. Everything's flushed out, like you rebooted your brain. Like how a computer reboots, visualize that. Everything you know is still there, all the applications are still there, but only the basic ones are running, everything else is resting. That kind of feeling. For the next two rounds, I won't speak so you can feel without my interrupting speeches. Okay. Anything you watch, anything you observe, anything you don't feel, it's okay. We're just going to accept whatever we see or feel or don't feel. Acceptance is what we're trying to get to here. Okay, let's do our second round. Go back to mudra. Inhale deep. Exhale. Round two, see if you can do a little faster than your previous round, whatever rhythm you picked. Want to stay in the same rhythm, fine, but you can try and do a little faster if you want to try. When you're done, relax, hands on your lap. Do round three. Back to mudra. Deep inhale. Exhale. Done. Relax. Okay. Now let's do our second breathing. Let's do Brahmari Pranayam, bumblebee breathing. So you're going to be closing your three external sense organs, ears, eyes, and mouth. So this is one of the ways, there may be other ways, but the way I have learned is you're going to have your thumbs be resting on your ear openings. So kind of closing your ear openings. Don't need to squeeze them in, just gently rest them. And then use your thumb and, not thumb, sorry, middle and index finger. Place them gently on your eyes. And your ring finger, place it on your lips. I'm going to place them once I'm done speaking. And your pinky can hang around or just rest on the chin or jaw, wherever it can. So closing these three, and we're trying to chant on the exhale. You take a deep inhale, and on exhale, you're trying to chant the sound, like how a bumblebee hums. That's how we're going to do a long and feel. If you see or feel, not see, actually feel any vibrations inside coming down from the spine to the top when you do the sound. And slowly you bring the sound to silence. And then we'll do that 2 more times. So, deep inhale. Round 2. Deep inhale. Round 3. Inhale. Let go of your hands. And now, when you're ready, lie down for Shavasana. I'm going to turn off the light. You all know the Shavasana posture. So lie on your back. Feet are mat width apart. Palms are facing up. And let your feet slide to the side. As much of your body touching the ground. Fully relax. Scan your body from the bottom to the top. Or watch your breath. Whatever you like, but let's try to keep our attention inwards. A few moments. Bring awareness to your surroundings and your body. And on an inhale, give a nice squeeze, bend your um, bend your legs at the knees, and give a nice hug to both your legs. And on the exhale, see if you can lift your head up. Savan Muktasan, get it closer to your knees. Then inhale and exhale, drop both your feet to the right and have your left hand stretched out. I'm going to show. Yeah. So you're both your feet on one side, you're on the right, then look to the other side. Relax for a few seconds. On an inhale, come back to the center, legs to the center, and exhale, legs to the other side. And now look at the opposite side than you did before. Okay, now tilt to a side and come to a seated position. Do 3 ohms and end our session. 3 ohms on the 3 exhales. So hands before the heart center. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you, Harshaji. Hariom.
Hari Om. You're welcome.
Thank you, Harshaji.